Hey, what's going on everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario. We're starting off again with a eating dog because guess what? I had to bribe her again for this episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. So welcome to the first episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups of 2018. In case you do not know, this is a series I started last year. I can now say that even though I'm filming this in 2017. Shh, it's okay. But this is a series that I ended up starting last year because one thing I've always enjoyed doing is, you know, going to thrift stores, picking up games and getting good price on them, all that stuff. Well, thrift stores, garage sales, game stores, wherever it might be. I like getting, you know, just hauls and awesome price on things if I can. But I was doing it so often, you know, mainly last year, that I said, you know, why don't I make a series out of it? So I decided to make this on the second channel. If you enjoy me, thank you very much. Or if you want to see more of this dog right here, I do have a main channel where I have actually, you know, properly edited videos and stuff, which I would recommend you check out. It will be down below in the description. It is Mr. Mario 2011. I also do all of these with my dog, so that's customary. We have to have the dog on here. I've actually, there's been many times, like for example, if I've been away from home and I do a bunch of pickups, I have on purpose not done a video and waited until I came home with my dog in just so we can keep the tradition of having Big Wolf right here. So thank you, Lily. Thank you for being a guest on this series. But anyways, I'm going to try and get these into a decent pile, or a couple piles, or whatever. I'll get them into a few piles and then we're going to go through and look at what we got here. Alright, after I got this wolf to sit here, it looks like we're good to go. So, this is what I end up getting. I guess we'll go from kind of left to right here. I'll go on the top row. So, first off, over here, these were the cheapest things I got. I was out of town for a couple weeks, so I ended up going to several shops in the area. I actually had to stop myself because I only brought a carry-on bag with me. And I was like, shit, if I buy any more stuff, I'm not going to be able to fit it. I barely fit this stuff in there because I was, you know, packing just enough to get by, but, you know, also enough so I could, you know, offload some things and get new stuff, whatever it was. But what ended up happening was I went to a Goodwill first off, and the Goodwills were okay. I went to several of them, but there was one that was pretty cool. At first, I was kind of disheartened because I went to the front, and they had, you know, some TV series, they had some stuff behind their glass, and just, you know, the prices weren't spectacular. But I went to the back, and they had several bins, and it said, all the stuff in here, $1 each, except for in these bins. And there was a bin full of video games. And all of those were $1 each. And I would have gotten more, but several of the games I either had no interest in, or I already owned, and I didn't see points in having duplicate copies of them, because they weren't, you know, my versions weren't scratched up, they weren't super valuable, whatever it was. But I ended up getting these two right here. Got Jak and Daxter, Greatest Hits Edition, Precursor Legacy, complete as well too. And I got Call of Duty 2. Now, I had this game at least. I think it might be at my parents' house. The point is I have it here. I said, you know, for $1, even if it is a duplicate, sure, why the hell not. Call of Duty 2, though, do not own anymore. Haven't had it for a while, and I said, you know, for $1, cannot pass that up, especially on 360. So, those are the cheapest things I got. $1 each, I thought those were pretty solid. Then, end up going to a Savers later on. Now, Savers is, in my opinion, it's like a nice upscale thrift shop. I've gone there with a few other people and I've shown them. They're like, wow, this is like an actual store. I'm like, yeah, I know, you wouldn't think it's a thrift store, but it is. But I ended up getting these two right here in like great shape, you know, awesome, complete, and everything. I got Hawks on 360 and Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 on 360. Hawks I played a good amount of, but I never owned it, and this game I never owned. At least to my knowledge. I have the first one. I don't believe I ever owned the second one. But yeah, on these I paid $4 each, and I had a coupon for 20% off, used it, so paid just over $3 for each one. You know, $3.20 plus tax. Next up, I went to a Five Below, which occasionally I'll check out. Now, they only have like 2 or 3 games, but they have a bunch of copies of them. But I got Borderlands, the pre-sequel, brand new, on Xbox 360, as you can see right there, sealed, brand new, $5. You know, hard to guess what the price is. And regular show, Mordecai and Rigby in 8-Bit Land, $5. This game, I actually had it and I sold it. It's not really that good, I'll be straight up. But for $5, I said, you know what, I'm a fan of regular show, rest in peace regular show. But I'm a fan of regular show, $5, brand new, sure, why the hell not, I'll put it back in the collection. I was paying 20, 30, 40 bucks, absolutely not. But $5, why the hell not? And then this, I never played it. I never played the pre-sequel, so that'll be fun to check out. Now, right over here, got a few other games. Lily she's drinking water. Now, these were the more expensive ones because I ended up going to an actual game shop to get these here. But I got Parasite Eve 2. I've never owned this. I have Parasite Eve 1. I have played Parasite Eve 2. It is great. I never finished it, but it's a great game. I've played, you know, a decent amount of it, I'd say. And I always wanted to pick it up. However, I didn't really want to pay, you know, the full price or anything, or like eBay prices on it. And this one I did pay a little bit for. This is not the most expensive one I paid for. But I paid 30 bucks for this. I think they had multiple copies. One of them was 40. This one said 35. Neither of them had the manual. And normally with these Squaresoft PS1 games, like these RPGs on PS1, if it's disc only, I normally don't get it. If it has everything except for the manual, I try and use that as a bargaining point. Because I'll be honest, I want the manual with the game. Like, I want it to be complete. But if everything is there except for the manual, I normally ask, hey, can you come down on the price a little bit? And most of the time they do. But they said, hey, well, you know, it looks like it's worth about the same price with or without a manual. But they looked at it and said, well, you know what, we can do $30 on it. How's that sound? And I said, sure. I still want the game. I still want to play it. You know, slight bummer I don't have the manual with it, but oh well, saved a few dollars on it. So, $30 for Parasite Eve 2. This is the other expensive game I got. Expensive, I'll say. This is actually, you know, about the same price, or, you know, even cheaper than I saw online, about $5 or $10 cheaper. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yes, I did pick up Battlefront 2, alright? I picked up the good one, the original Battlefront 2, not the microtransaction controversial one. Ended up getting this for $30. It's not the original case, but everything else is complete with it, so for $30, I said, you know what, that's actually a pretty solid deal, I'll pick that up. Enclave, ended up getting this. This was $4. Never played this game. I've heard it's good, though, on the original Xbox, and $4, I said, why the hell not? This one, I even saved a little on it, too, because they had two copies. One of them was 5, one of them was 4, and I was like, look, can I just get this one for 4, because it was in slightly better condition? And they said, sure. And then Azuric, Rise of Parathia, I believe that's how you say it. I played this game on launch on the original Xbox. It was a launch title. Didn't really understand it. Ended up buying it, you know, years later on clearance. Still didn't really understand it or get into it. And then I saw this, I was like, you know what, I do want to give this a try, because one thing is, I'd like to see if I can get, you know, all of the launch title games for the original Xbox. So, I tried this out, well, not tried out, but I decided to pick this up. It was $5, I said, you know what, sure, that'll be worth giving it a shot, so we will see. We will see. But $5, hopefully it's worth it. We'll check that out. Next up, ended up going to a Half Price Books, and these are the games I picked up from there. And this Half Price Books, they were on point this time around. The last time I went before, they just had their games kind of like scattered here and there, and I picked a few up. They had an actual good game section this time around. So I got Fighting Force for $5, got on PS1, played it many times, never owned it until now. 1080 Degrees Avalanche, $5 again, GameCube complete. And Forza Motorsport, the original one. Never played this, never owned it, but have it on the original Xbox now, $5. Can't complain about any of those. I also ended up getting these right here. Now, these were actually from the store that I went to prior. But I got this SuperPad 64 Plus. I've seen things about it, I've read about it, I've seen some videos. Never owned one, never picked one up. This is $10. I said, you know what, for $10, sure, why the hell not? And finally, check this out. Check this out. This is the only Monster cable I have ever owned. It is a Monster branded original Xbox component cable. $8. $8 for that. I even looked it up, and that was quite a fair price as well, too. It's not like I was saving a bunch of money, but I looked online, and surprisingly, these original Xbox Monster cables are affordable. For whatever reason. I don't know why. In case you don't know, Monster is like, they're almost like the Apple of cables. They just really try and upsell their cables and the quality and all this other stuff. So I would expect these to be, you know, selling for $20, $30. No, I got this for $8. I said, you know what, I've been playing more Xbox. These are definitely going to be some of the best component cables out there you can get. Why the hell not? Anyways, those are all the pickups that I ended up getting while I was, you know, out on a trip and all that fun stuff. So, yeah. I think we did pretty good for ourselves. Like, most of the stuff here was pretty cheap, with the exceptions here, you know, being the actual game shop I ended up going to, and that would be more, I feel like, you know, Star Wars Battlefront 2, which I felt like was a fair price, and then Parasite Eve 2, I could have maybe even gotten for a little bit cheaper, but I did really want that in the collection, so finally have that now. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, a like would very much be appreciated. Like, if you absolutely hated it, A dislike is fine too, but you're going to make that dog and her duck, whose name is Ducksworth, or Duckworth. My brothers call him Ducksworth. You're going to make this dog turn away from you.